Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. I hope all of you are having a great one. However you catch this, whenever you catch this, we are here to discuss the greatest sport known to man. All right, some wrestling. All right, we are here to discuss August 12th, 2026, and Smackdown for August 14th, 2026. For August 14th, 2026. All right, now we're going to be doing a lot of yapping, a lot of talking. All right, so if you have any beverages, all right, any cups of caffeine, all right, maybe a couple of snacks, all right, I'd use your gravitational force and I'd pull them close to you. All right, because we are going to be doing a lot, and I mean a lot of grapple discussion. All right, so first segment of the night for Dynamite. All right, I just want to say off the bat, these Dynamites have been solid. They have been consistently solid. I think you can make an argument that AEW hasn't exactly pulled the trigger, and had a, I would say, it's so funny, right? Because I said a while ago that a great Raw could never compare to a good Dynamite. Unfortunately, for a majority of people, that view is inverse. So an amazing 10-star Dynamite could never compare to like a run-of-the-mill, very average Raw. So I'm saying all this to say that they have to, unfortunately, overperform just to simply be in conversations with a weekly episode of slop like Smackdown. So everything that we are getting from this Ospreay and Omega story, it is good. It is really, really good. I mean, Ospreay talks about his trials and tribulations before coming to the big stage, exactly how he got to where he is. He speaks on his grandfather and his passing and how that fueled him to become a better wrestler. It really is one of the better promos that Ospreay has cut for this entire program with Mr. Omega, right? And eventually he just says, hey man, enough pussyfooting, enough beating around the bush. Mr. Omega, get your ass down here and let's have a face-to-face. Don Callis comes out of nowhere. All of the Don Callis family fucking hate Ospreay. They hate Omega, so it's like apt. it's apt that Callis is out here. The Callis promo, it dragged on for a little bit. It was like maybe 30 seconds too long for me, but the main idea was that all of these niggas, they beat up on the Billy Goat, they beat up on the brawling Brit known as William Ospreay, and Omega, he comes down with the pipe, the music hits, lights, camera, action, the cleaner, the best bout machine runs down to the ring, and he cuts a fucking flawless promo on Ospreay. Like, it is so fucking good. And I don't know what bag Omega has been dipping into for some of these promos, but he's genuinely on another fucking level. Genuinely on an entire another level when it comes to building this story, right? He doesn't want a person who's weak and can't defend himself, but he also doesn't want somebody who's stupid and arrogant and as foolish as William was to join up with somebody like Moxley, right? And there's so much depth in that. The idea of going into your darkest, most deepest parts of yourself simply to prove yourself wrong. Like, Ospreay is doing all of this to prove himself wrong. And I think that that's such a beautiful story. Realistically, will he win at Wembley? I don't know. I don't know if he'll win at Wembley. No matter what happens at Wembley, it will be a star career-defining moment for Mr. Ospreay. Main event of fucking Wembley Stadium. Come on, bro. You can only dream about shit like that. So I'm very excited for this match to take place. Again, I think the story that we're getting between these two, it's a positive. It is a net positive on these Dynamites, and I'm looking forward to the match all in all. And again, Kenny shows like great shades of like heel-ish behavior. It's good. It's good. Like, I don't know what turn or how they're gonna execute this. It is going to be a classic. It is going to be a classic though, and there's no I gotta stop marking out. But fuck, man, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited about this match. Next match that we are going to be discussing is going to be Speedball Mike Bailey, MJF, and the one and only Mr. Nicky Wayne. Nick Wayne is the future of this company. We have discussed that there are just certain pillars in this company right now that are the future, and there's no doubt about it. Nick Wayne is one of them. He is an amazing heel in that ring, an amazing technical talent. He has a really good aerial bag that I think it's solid. It's solid for somebody his size, very skinny, very scrawny. And he could just get up there. It's good. Really fucking good. The whole thing here is MJF is like teaching Nick Wayne how to be a heel, and some people would say, that the two heels shouldn't be out here fighting. But what do you have to say to that, Mr. MJF?
I'm gonna let these two twinks battle it out.
All right, very well said, Mr. Friedman. I don't have an issue with this match. I think the best parts of this match are unequivocally Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne is the MVP of this match. I mean, he is so good, so fucking good. He had an amazing bout with Moxley, I want to say 2 to 3 months ago, that showed his in-ring capabilities when it comes to getting on that mat and getting dirty. In this match, he's a lot more of like I would say like a hard-hitting I would say heel. He's more of a hard-hitting high flyer. It seems like all of his punches are really landing really flush. It seems like there is a lot of weight behind everything that he's doing, kind of like an Okada, if this makes any sense. Like all of his hits are connecting and they look great. I mean, Nick Wayne is at the top of his game. He's only going to keep getting better. MJF is a bit taped up, so obviously he takes a bit of a back seat. But that makes for great moments on commentary. That makes for again great story moments with him and Nick Wayne as two heels, the future and the present of this locker room, right? It's good, really good match. And as I stated, MJF being so banged up, he literally steals this win. I don't think he's a single finisher in this fucking match. Basically Ultimo Dragon on Nicky Boy, Mr. Wayne, and MJF throws Speedball out of there, the non-binary helicopter, uno, dos, tres, and MJF is going to Wembley Stadium, arguably to, I don't know, special referee. I don't know what the fuck he's going to be doing at Wembley, but he's going to be doing something at Wembley. And the idea is that Kenny is the fake champion, MJF is the real champion. I think that all of this being said on the exact same show that Hangman Adam Page is on is motherfucking hilarious, but that's neither here nor there. Alrighty, but this is a very good match, a very solid way to, again, opening match of the night, so, definitely not going to kick their back in about that. Great way to start your night. I think it's kind of a funny inverse of what we were dealing with a couple of months ago, where MJF was starting the shows, and now, if you know the layout of this Dynamite, right, for August 12th, 2026, that Moxley's ending this show, so nice little inverse, it's a nice little swap of what we were getting a couple of months ago. Jason White, alright, Switchblade, alright, King Switch. He is going up against David Finlay. Now, David Finlay looks fucking amazing in this match. David Finlay is somebody that I think all of you should keep a very big eye out on for 2027. That is probably going to be your next maybe 3-month reign international champion in 2027. I'm calling it. Like there's big shit in store for David Finlay. And I even like the idea of like, maybe, I doubt it. He's such a great heel. But if he ever wanted to split off from the Dogs, I mean, the matches that he could have with Clark Connors, nigga, like David Finlay is fire, bro. Really good. Jay White looks great after his return. It's awesome that, again, as we spoke on with Eddie Kingston and some other acts, there is a bit of like a grace period that people just need to kind of mentally settle back in after being away for so long. Jay White looks very sharp. He looks like he's present. He has this really good I'm losing it right now. It's a butterfly. It's like an underhook suplex. It's a really good underhook suplex that he hits on Finlay, and I haven't seen that nigga done that in maybe like 3 to 5 years. And I was like, oh god. They're cooking. They're fucking cooking out there. Jay White, he plays a great foil to David Finlay. This guy. Again, same thing with New Japan Pro, right? Somebody who wants to kind of stay on that Mount Rushmore, right, of figureheads that have ran this bitch to the ground, all right, have held up the fucking have held up the foundation, that have held up the load-bearing walls of this company. I mean, and David Finlay, and again, a lot of these older acts are kind of having this, head-to-head. He wants to be the new big dog in town, no pun intended. So David Finlay goes out there and he does his best to kill Jay White. He does. You know, and honestly, it works. It works for a good portion of this match. Jay White looked like he was going down. They established an entire nobody at ringside, which is smart. That's intelligent booking. That's making your creative and whoever the shoot manager, I guess it would be Tony Khan. But again, you can extrapolate that to whoever the fuck, like, you know, influences Tony Khan, like Tony Khan's thinking, whoever makes him a good cup of coffee that fucking morning, right? Whatever goes into the creative, they're making it look very intelligent. Because banning Bang Bang Gang and the Dogs x the Death Riders from ringside, that's what you do with these kind of matches. Like, literally two faction darlings will just wrestle in the Federation and everyone in bumfuck anywhere comes out. Now again, I'm saying I don't like the ketchup by, you know, dip it in mustard. I understand what I'm saying, but like, this intelligent, this is good. This is good, smart booking, and I'm on board for it. But, you know, as I stated, Jay White, different bag, different level, different kind of motion, all right? He progresses in this Continental Cup, and, you know, he puts away David Finlay with a Sister Abigail. I don't think they call it that in the dub, but, you know, I'm going to call it that because it's Sister Abigail, and rest in peace to Bray. Next match on the card that we are going to be, you know, talking about, well, actually, next segment, my apologies, is Swerve Garments. It's a Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland comes out and he interrupts, you know, the good and the bad and the ugly. You know, Hangman Adam Page, he's going out there, he's all smiles, you know, from ear to ear, having a great time. I think they're in like Nevada or New Vegas or something like that. So, you know, he feels pretty at home, all right, as a as an 8th Latino white man, right? As a 1/8 Latino white man that he is. Can a white boy speak a little Espanol? Is pretty fucking funny. And Swerve comes down and he essentially says, you know, I have history with Bandino, true. Have history with Brody King, true. And I have history with Hangman, true. It's almost like you niggas out here trauma bonding or something. Is y'all cool? And then, you know, this nigga Swerve's fucking hilarious. He says, you know, like, you used to be the world champion, you used to be on top of the world, and then you lost, and now you can't even battle for the championship ever again. Now what? You running around with these guys? That shit popped me, yo. I ain't gonna lie. That shit popped me. Yo, Swerve is fucking stupid, yo. That shit was mad funny. Basically, Swerve and Hangman are building towards this kind of one face of one trios team, the other face of another trios team. I like to believe it's the New Day. The New Day can be great heels, but as we're going to speak about, you know, for this SmackDown, some of these crowds just take people in however they take them. Pause. Swerve kind of came off a bit face-ish. The crowd was fucking with Swerve, yo. I ain't gonna lie to you. Crowd was fucking with Swerve. Like how Boston be fucking with Mercedes. Mercedes would be like, I'll kill everybody in that locker room. I'm the biggest heel and the best person in the history of ever. And everyone in Boston's like, woo, we fucking love you, Mercedes. Yo, they was fucking with Swerve. And Swerve was on some straight heel dickhead behavior. So, if they do bring out the New Day, I don't know if they would boo them. But Xavier Woods and, you know, and Kofi are great. I mean, Austin Creed, apologies, chat. Austin Creed and Kofi are great heels. Like, great fucking heels. So, who knows what we do? Who knows what we can get in the next upcoming pay-per-view? But I want all of you to know right now, the New Day are coming. Okay? They are coming, all right? Pause. I feel like Dame saying all these fucking pauses, man. Next topic. Now, because I'm gonna keep it real, I'm gonna keep it all the way at thou wow with y'all. I didn't like this Jericho match. Jericho and Kevin Knight had a match. Kevin Knight is Kevin Knight, and Jericho's out here for some reason. And all I can think back to is when Brian Keith and Bandino had a viral moment that Chris Jericho then replicated 2 more times after. All because like they were in the same group and Brian Keith was a bit more over due to the viral spot. I'm trying to make heads or tails of this, chat. I don't know why Chris Jericho's out here. I don't. I can't even say he looks great because he does not. It's not a positive. It's not a positive. Yeah. Tommy, take 2 stars. Take 2 stars off. And then add them back because the next segment after this is the Willow Nightingale segment. So that makes up for it. But you know what, Tommy, do me a favor. Actually, erase 1 of those 2 stars for me. Thank you. What we get, unfortunately, is just a segment. And that's it. And I feel like we're building towards Wembley. We're building towards All In. I could throw a penny down the street and I'd hit Wembley Stadium and All In, right? It's right around the corner. I'm greedy. I'm greedy, man. What the fuck do you want me to say? All right, Willow Nightingale, looks like a goddess, right? Mercedes is literally just as visually jaw-dropping, right? I'm trying to be as respectful as I can, and they're both telling the story of one rapidly trying to not exceed but surpass the other. Like they're both walking the exact same path of being the future of women's wrestling, and it's something so electric about like the future and this monumental story in women's wrestling, right? Because it's always been like that, right? Like women's wrestling, when it shines no matter the promotion. It fucking shines. So them doing something so honestly I think so generationally defining as this, right? And Wembley Stadium of all places, almost a fucking 40,000 capacity house. We're not capacity, I'm not trying to be facetious like when I'm saying these things. What I'm trying to say is there is so much going into this match, and I think it happening in AEW, it's just like wow, like Mercedes is genuinely one of the greatest of all time. Like to have moments to have just the experiences that you can stretch all the way from Japan, all the way to fucking Rev Pro, right? All the way to France, right? You could fucking go to Norway, and I bet people are talking about the Mercedes Moné match that she ran for the Norwegian belt during her belt collector run. It's so much we're watching right now with this segment. So I'm excited. I'm like genuinely from the bottom of my YouTube generated heart, I am excited for this match, but I'm telling myself I want in-ring moments. I want more. I just want more. Like I want the tweet that Mercedes Moné played where she's basically calling Willow a bitch, right? It was pretty funny. I want that. I want it to I want it to have some weight on the actual show. Maybe a Mercedes Moné, a low blow or something like that leads to Willow losing against, the next jabron down the street. There's something in me that just wants to see Willow wrestle. And again, it's very greedy, it's very selfish, but she's the world champion. And as she was before with the TBS belt, she is now a brand ambassador. All right, she's doing big shit now, big shit. So if I can't get like I can last 3 weeks. I can last 3 more weeks without seeing Willow Nightingale wrestle. Anything over that though, you're killing me. All right, Tony, you're killing me, brother. All right. Also, you know what you're killing me with? Chris Statlander getting a Here Lady Damn. You know what that's kind of what I'm like wrapping some of this shit up to. It's like a Here Ladies Damn. Tony Here Ladies Damn Con. And like you be giving these ladies just. I feel like women walk in there with like entire whiteboards and Bibles of like lore and storytelling that they bring on hand and foot to Tony and his consortium of kind of creative reinforcers, right? Because again, if he has a bad idea, I bet like at least one person, a single person is gonna tell him, let's reshape it. I doubt like any like dog shit ideas leave that creative room. I can't really vouch for that. Saying all this to say, I feel like there's so much being brought to him on the ladies, like in the lady side of this locker room, on the women's side of this locker room. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. And he's just like, well, I mean, we could try to work it in, but you guys only got about 10 minutes for the night, and I could try to work it in 10 minutes, I'll try to give something to creative and we can make something work, like I like to think that Tony is genuinely trying his best, but 10 minutes, like damn. Fucking stresses me out, bro. And then for another segment that I like to call Here Ladies Damn, we get Maya's World and Thunder Rosa. Both of these ladies look so great draped in gold, by the way. Holy shit. And we also get Megan Bain in the division. I do not remember if they're the tag. I think they are still the tag champions. I believe they still are the tag champions. If they are, I would like for Maya World to maybe have a feud with somebody who matters, right? Because I just like to humbly ask, where is Chris and where is she going? We know she has a feud with Sheeta, but Sheeta seems pretty goddamn focused on Maya World and that TBS belt. Are we just going to do another triple threat? Are we going to do are we just going to do another survival of the fittest? Because at that point, that feels like a here ladies damn, right? Are we going to acknowledge, that Willow, for the most part, if you have to look at a roadmap, what is going to lead, what is going to happen after this Mercedes feud, right? Are they going to have a best of 2, best of 3? Are we going to build up maybe somebody like Megan Bayne? Is Penelope going to come up? Are we going to maybe take that final step with Athena and get an Athena and Willow program? There's a lot of things that can happen, but they have to be put in motion. I just spoke on Maya World. What is in store for Maya World? Is Hien gonna eventually maybe go on a heel turn, right? Is she gonna come back from an injury and have an amazing best of 5, best of 3, or just a good old one-off with Maya World? This women's division is built and it's packed to the gills with so much potential. And I speak on this every week because I wanted to really land when I say this. These Dynamites aren't bad, but the construction of the women's stories, they make the Dynamites less sturdy. Just because MJF can cut a great promo after a match, right? We get a great segment from Claudio in the back when John Moxley's building up his main event with Jack Perry, right? The Jungle Man. But it seems like for these women's stories, it's kind of just like hey, make it work in 9. We're gonna go to commercial in 3, 2, 1, and it's fuck, I want more. I genuinely want more. I'm saying all of that to say, right? And I had a little flub earlier. It's not the Divine Dominion. It was actually Persephone and Sheeta. Apologies, chat. Persephone and Sheeta. Persephone and Sheeta, they have this match against Maya World and Thunder Rosa, and very, very good match. I really liked also Maya World and Persephone having that good one-off. I think that's the future. That's the future right there. We are watching genuinely, watching these two is like watching a 2004 house show match with Big Show, Randy Orton, and fucking The Rock and some new startup kid named John Cena. That's literally the equivalent of what we're watching right now. Maya World and Persephone are the future. So seeing them lock up, good graps, good minutes, I was very, very, very pleased with that. It's a really good match. But I do want to touch on again, if Maya World is going to be doing the tag team thing that she very much spoke on. She spoke on publicly after winning the TBS belt. I do want to work in the tag team. I love my partner, right? And it's that's fly. That's dope as shit. So I understand it, but I don't want it to be a thing I'm going to be Maya 2 belts, astaghfirullah, I do not mean this disparagingly, but I don't want it to turn into a Tiffy time, where it is this, again, very visually jaw-dropping personality, very light, very loud personality that, illuminates the entire room. But unfortunately, we don't give them much, and Tiffy doesn't exactly do as much as Maya World does. If you want to actually shoot the ones, honestly, I think that Maya World genuinely pound for pound is a better wrestler than Tiffy, but we're not going to do that. That's weird. I'm saying for the sake of comparison, when it comes to title runs and when it comes to title reigns, right? Tiffy has been, again, mid-card, a very bright upstart in the Federation. What have they been giving her, though? And I think that's my biggest takeaway. What are they giving Maya World, and how is it going to reflect on the future of this creative, right? And that's the thing. When does the booking of the matches, the booking, the production, the I would say again, the simple construction of these stories, when does that start bogging down and becoming a detriment to the creative? And I think that's something, again, I kind of took away from this. I can't state it enough, though. Very, very good match, and we're watching the future of this women's company, of this future's we're watching the future of this women's division right now. So very pleased, very, very pleased. All right, for our main event, all right, we have the big ace, all right, the biggest one, all right, the undisputed greatest continental champion of all time, Jonathan Moxley. All right, Big John. All right, he's walking down to the ring. Marina Shafir's there, as she always is. The kind of interim continental champion, while John Moxley is committing his next act of crime. John Moxley, he's going up against Jungle Jack Perry, and they said this is the first time they've locked up. I feel like there's some underlying history, because these niggas start balling. They start going crazy. I'm not gonna lie, at first it was a little slow and I wasn't exactly there. I've been not purposefully. I've been a little critical of Jack Perry's game. You know, what can I say? The Jungle Man, you know, Tarzan can only do so much. I assumed that, you know, he'll be getting back maybe into like the TNT bag, or again, maybe like he'll get back into a scapegoat bag. I don't really know what the plan was, because Luchasaurus is, again, he still has his, I believe his, not his rotator cuff. It might be his rotator cuff. Listen, Luchasaurus is fucked up, all right? The dinosaur man's out of commission, so Jungle Jack is just literally making it fucking work, and boy does he. Boy does he. I believe he gets bladed, or he gets kind of busted open. I don't know if it was a gig or if it was the hard way. When he goes for a suicide dive and Moxley essentially, you know, uppercuts his shit, you know, strict clean right hooks his shit, smooth the fuck off, you say. And, you know, basically, you know, we get a great Crimson Mask from Jack Perry after this. I think that is one of the highlights of AEW, that they revel, that they, you know, they embrace the real athletic sport of this, you know, like, you know, the real athletic competition of this sport, right? Like, people will get busted open, and that's a plus. That's an asset, right? It adds to the match, no pun intended, you know, because adding color is something you could do to anything. You could add color to a tables match and be, oh, fucking 4-star, right? Whatever. But, you know, Jungle Jack, right? The Jack Man, the Jungle Man, he's only like, what, 120 soaking wet against Mox. Mox has been like fucking absolute Batman. It is a great match. Good big versus small. And you know, that's really just wrestling 101, right? You could look at the fucking Jim Cornette quote about that one. I really appreciated also how Jungle, you know, he kept up the not I wouldn't say the hustle, but he kept up the pace of somebody who, you know, and they touched on the commentary, who like never took a single bump. Like, he was moving like he didn't take a single bump out there. And I think that's you know, again, like, realistically, that's a good adrenaline rush, and that's a good push that you want to be giving yourself when somebody's like fucking 3 times your size, like Moxley, right? Moxley has great in-ring psychology with whoever he's with, but somebody who's such a great and lovable face as Jack Perry, somebody who has been a bit of a fawn, you know, a doughy, brown-eyed kind of situation going on there. So, you know, Jack Perry, he's kind of like, you know, he's a bit of a darling. He's a bit of an internet darling. So for him to get stomped out and then choked out so brutally by Jon Moxley, Big Johnny Boy, for the Continental Cup, you know, it worked. It worked, and the crowd's behind Jack. You know, they started booing Moxley, you know, before just clapping it up. They did shake hands, which I think is a positive. That's good. And, you know, I can say, you know, as I've stated before, people could argue that AEW doesn't have a top face, but I can say one man who's the top face. All right? Delta, Ego, America, Knight, Dean. It's Dean. All right, it's Mr. Moxley. He's great. He's great at what he does, and I think he definitely is a perfect cap to this Dynamite. And lastly, you know, before we cap off on this Dynamite, you know, I like that they're like kind of setting up a little bit, you know, softly, probably not in the near future, but, you know, if Jack Perry goes on an insane run, puts on maybe a good 10 or so pounds, has a small AEW championship run, wouldn't hate it. Hey, chat. Hey, chat. Wouldn't hate it. Jack Perry is very impressive. And again, it makes sense that they're giving somebody like him, like Darby, you know, it kind of sets up, you know, that they're gonna, you know, obviously they're priming somebody like a Bandino, right? They're giving these guys the keys to the castle very soon, and I like that. I'm a fan. What can I say? I'm old fashioned, all right? When you give it to me in Act 1, when it plays out in Act 5, all right? I'm just a bit, I'm a bit of a mark when it comes to that, all right? Like an easy setup, all right? Right here, right there. What can I say? All right, a good 8 out of 10 Dynamite. But again, Tony, actually do me a favor. Scratch out one of those. Scratch out half of those stars. Actually, half. I was gonna give him a 7.75, but that would have felt a little harsh. Good 7.5 for Dynamite, August 10th for August 12th, 2026. We're going to be steamrolling into our Smackdown. All right, I hope all of you have your popcorn, hope all of you have your snacks, because we're going to be jumping right into it. Now, I think that there should be a bit of a walkout. I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm being dead ass. There needs to be some kind of repercussion for, you know, the actions taken by TKO Incorporated. And I think that the following acts, you know, I think it would benefit them greatly to show them niggas who's who, show them niggas what's what, and maybe just walk into not AAA, apologies, chat. Oh Lord, that would have sounded so stupid. That they walk into CMML, they walk into New Japan Pro. Maybe they go across the river and they get paid the biggest bag from Rev Pro, because these guys, bro, these guys do not respect the art of fucking professional wrestling. They don't. So first on my list, Otis, brother, the world is your oyster. You have so much light in you, boss. So much light. You should get the fuck out of there ASAP. Zap. Next on my list, Ivy Neal, baby. Ivy Neal, baby. They put you in the back near the catering tray. We're on month 7 now. For the likes of what? Nikki Cross cosplay. There are 2 actions of Nikki Cross cosplaying. Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria on the main roster, just taking up space. just taking up space. That benefit anybody? Fuck no. Leave. Right? Leave while your wrists still work. All right? You're an amazing striker. Probably one of your best qualities. Get some real production value. Because the Federation ain't cutting it. They're fucking not. Fraxium, both of you niggas, leave. Walk out the front door. You deserve better. You know how many times Nathan Frazier has went out there and almost died for the sport of fucking professional wrestling? Do you? You know how many times Axiom has walked out there, mask first, nut second, and done something death-defying, crowd electrifying, arguably match of the night contender shit from this nigga Fraxium every time he wipes his feet and steps in between those ropes? What does he get? Oh, catering trays. Got it. It's fucking disgusting. Next, Mello, brother, my bright brother. They had that nigga Mello lose in his hometown. I understand. I wholeheartedly understand that we haven't gotten to the Smackdown review yet. I'm ripping the fucking band-aid off. These niggas are terrorists. They are. There's no excuse for it. I just found out last night that nigga was born in Framingham. The 16-minute drive. They were in the TD Garden. I don't know if New Japan Pro would take Mello, because he is a pretty brown-skinned brother. But you know what? They just might. Maybe Lucha Underground needed just one more WWE star to get them niggas the contract signing. I don't know where or what he does. He has to get away from this fucking company, dog. They kept him intentionally. They moved heaven and earth to keep Mello off of SummerSlam and WrestleMania. There's no excuse for it. Had the nigga eat a pin to the bald bum who just came back from wrestling niggas in the Blockbuster parking lot. Christ, man. Fuck. Oh, you want to know something really funny? Baron Corbin hasn't changed that title either, because it's making them money. Who would have thought Trick Williams, your United States champion, could make you money? Wow, what an insane fucking concept. It's almost like you should be running a generational 1v1 with Trick right now, and somebody of value. Mello brother, you are of the highest value. Disgusting. Makes me sick. Makes me fucking sick. And lastly, Bailey. Pack them bags, baby girl. Get up out of there. Get the fuck up out of there. I don't know if she'd go to AEW. I don't know. I think Mercedes would, again, move heaven and earth to get something done. Very serious. Might visit MJF, make a deal with the devil just to get it done. I don't know. I don't know what has to happen for Bailey to come to AEW. I know that Bailey would be, she would be well received in AEW. She could go to Stardom. I mean, fucking, she could go to TGPW. She could go to DDT. Like, there's literally, the sky's the limit for Bailey, and I'm just such a big fan. She can go to CMML. Like, oh my god, Bailey's awesome. Bailey's so awesome, and everything that she has been experiencing in this company is only a reflection of what the fuck they think of this women's division, because we're going to be getting to it, chat, we're going to be getting to it. So we open up this SmackDown with Chelsea Green, right? Chelsea Green, man. Chelsea Green seems to have a shoot injury I hope that it's not a shoot injury though, because it looks horrible. She looks terrible. It's funny. She looks like how Cody looked when he got punted by Randy, and I was like, "Oh, brother, you need to stay home." That's that. No. You don't put that on your your nationally televised TV show. You don't put that on screen. Fuck that, brother. Yeah, no. Chelsea Green looks bad. I hope that this is a work injury. I pray that this is makeup. She looks awful. And Nick Aldis is saying, "Hey, baby girl, you can't wrestle. So even though we made you an interim champion because Rhea wouldn't wrestle and we haven't dethroned her as the champion, we're going to dethrone you as the interim champion, even though Rhea's still the champion, meaning we're still going to have to find an interim champion because Rhea doesn't want to wrestle and she's injured and you kind of want to wrestle, but you're injured. So we're still going to dethrone you." Or are they? Because they said something about like a 30-day like fucking trial period. What the fuck did they say? Listen, it was all kind of just hogwash, I'll be honest with you. And I like that they're making a story out of an injury. I like that. Like I said, I'm old school, right? When somebody broke their arm, you make him somebody's manager until his fucking arm fixed, all right? You put that nigga on TV. You put the money makers on TV. And it seems that they're really trying to cash out on Chelsea Green. This crowd is like really behind her. I can't believe this fucking city, man. Christ. They're on their hands and knees begging for Chelsea just to lock the fuck in. It's presumed that she's now going to be one of the bigger faces while Rhea again tries to heal her ACL and her meniscus. I think it is a meniscus. I think meniscus is like a sinus disease or some shit. And Chelsea Green again, she's hot, man. She's white hot. There's an entire thing with Gunther. Gunther threatens to call her every single slur ever. Hey man, I don't know. Do you want me to tell you what I think is going on? I think these niggas are out of ideas and they're genuinely just using shock value. I think the shock value is getting to them. It's funny, right? Because I think when they see Dynamite or when they see Collision or when they see Ring of Honor or CMLL take over the streets, when they see the G1 Climax and New Japan Pro Wrestling take over the streets, and I mean complete another takeover. I'm talking fucking Good Morning America is talking about how the Japanese Twitter or the entire city of Japan is abuzz due to the wrestling match. Like, that's the kind of motion we're getting right now from the outside wrestling world that isn't the Federation. So I think that they do shit like this on purpose. They have Melo lose in his hometown because you know it pisses you niggas off. Because they're pushing your buttons intentionally. They make the fucking tag team division Damian Priest and R2. Oh, dude. I don't think this is going to be a real review. It's just going to be a rant, honestly. I fucking hate these shows. R-Truth and Damian Priest, they get the jabronied, like they get the fucking jabroni fucking package, right? The fucking the jabroni tour package to get, oh my gosh, the fucking MFTs were cool. Like that doesn't make sense, man. We're the Street Profits. I understand. You know what? My apologies. Let me use anybody else. Where's Motor City Machine? Oh. Well, where's Fraxy? Oh. Right. The Creed brother. Oh no, you can't use them either. So it's funny, man. It's like they have nobody. They're just doing a bunch of random shit. Haku and the fucking MFTs. Are you niggas high? They must be. They fucking have to be, bro. Yeah. Oh, and there's also like a 3-second match between Zack Ryder and Gunther. Woo. Your wife is being fucking subjected to you being put in a Boston Crab. Yeah, good on you, Zack, man. Hey, man, coming back to the Fed was the right choice. He must be getting a big bag. Biggie bag, man. Big old fat bag for this. Kevin Owens and CM Punk. They tried to salvage it this night. And I found myself asking, what am I willing to endure for the sake of a Kevin Owens return, right? And I think I found myself answering that question, right, with the main objective and the main idea on Punk's behalf, still after 20 years, is to belittle Kevin Owens. And it's kind of funny how Punk works, right? He never really denies the fact that he indeed tried to belittle and big dog Kevin Owens. He actually revels in the idea that he did that. So when he says things like, oh man, I was happy for you, it's like, well, if Kevin Owens is who Kevin Owens is, you know that he's probably just not going to be like, oh man, Punk's so happy for you. It's like, yeah, man, I bet he is. So you trying to like reinforce it? It's like, it feels like a shoot. Then you remember how many eyes and how much fucking bureaucracy bloat goes into these shows, and it's like, it's not a shoot, but I guess for the sake of the television, right? For the sake of for the love of the game, I'll try to give it my best go, right? And Kevin Owens, he is very impressive. He's very convincing. And again, we have to talk about the crowd dynamic. Is Boston a heel crowd? They might be, because Kevin Owens is over, brother. I mean, he is extremely over in Boston, and I don't know if that's because, again, they're billing him as a face, or if that's just the crowd reception, but he looks like a decent, well-meaning guy who genuinely has who has been given a second chance at like the schoolyard bully. And then Punk's doing this whole thing. It must be because this is Cena territory that he's so comfortable being a dickhead here, but he's like, yeah, I fucking hated you and I still hate you, you're fat. And that's just kind of the promo. They touch on like history. They allude to the Young Bucks. Personally, when they said friends back there, my mind state would have been Sammy. I would have been like, oh, you like, no, I'm talking about Sami Zayn, the guy that you screwed out of a championship, you self-entitled narcissistic prick. That's what I would have done. But again, they probably had to, hey, listen, that bureaucratic bloat will take a lot of fun out of a lot of things, all right? Ask me about the Marvel movies. I didn't really like the promos just on their face, but I understand that the purpose that they're serving is, again, to feel like a shoot. So for that, it worked. I know that the match is going to be good. Hopefully Punk doesn't do any moonsaults. I'm not fucking joking. Don't do any stupid shit, Punk. Just have a good fucking match in this. This feud might be okay. If the blow off is solid. I like that they're kind of touching on, Sami Zayn and Punk and Cody and Sammy. Like, it is actually very tight interconnected web, because even Owens and Cody, that's a direct reflection of Sammy and Cody right now. It's a lot of good shit that can come from this. It has to be executed properly. And if I look to like that Sammy segment that Cody, that they had earlier in the night in front of Nick Aldis, that was poor. Because Nick Aldis, again, looks like the fucking Golden Boy's lapdog. Why they insist on having management look like this, I don't know, but it's apt. It's true. It's fucking accurate, bro. And I wish that we just wouldn't like fucking deceive ourselves. Because it's accurate as fuck. Next segment on the night, all right, we get Jacy Jayne. Jacy Jayne goes up against Tiffany Stratton. I guess the idea is that Tiffany Stratton was like doing a whole Superwoman kind of thing. She was taking on this portion of this faction. She was taking on the opponent. She was talking her trash to her next, potential opponent. She was just doing a lot of shit, right? And, again, Tiffany isn't like the worst wrestler in the world, so it's not a horrible match. And Jacy Jayne is arguably one of the better wrestlers in that women's locker room. So, that definitely plays a little PEMDAS. Everything kind of just evens itself out. The biggest change, that I think I would probably make to this match is the outside interference gimmick. Don't like it. Chelsea Green just here for the fuck of it. Don't know why. Don't like it. Not a big fan. I think it's a direct pipeline for Tiffy to lose this as she did. Lose the United States belt, get the WWE Women's World Championship, and that's pretty much where this company's going. They're going for the blue eyes, blonde-haired darlings, and you can say that sounds familiar. That's because it is. This is a very familiar formula, and they insist that this is the way forward. Couldn't tell you why. Could not tell you why, brother. But as I stated, Jacy Jayne hits that rolling elbow, beautiful finisher, by the way, and gets the uno, dos, tres. Jacy Jayne walks up the ramp and cries as she is leading a fully belted up faction as someone who just got called up from NXT no less than 2 months ago. Very big fairs to Jacy Jayne. As I've stated, very heel crowd. I think Boston's a heel crowd. I'll be honest with you. I think there's only a real way to digest it. They love and they adore Jacy Jayne in this faction. So I guess that everything's kind of just working out for these guys. It's a lot of positives, right? People are positively receiving that Owen segment. A lot of people are just genuinely happy for Jacy Jayne, and I mean genuinely, like, there's a whole segment of the fandom that is going fucking bonkers bananas for apologies, chat, for Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, right? They think that they're running timeless television right now, and there's no other real way around it. And I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to say that the only reason that this main event happened the way it happened is because Cody is a fucking premier politician, and you know, he looked back on the footage of their old feud, of their old program, and he didn't like how much of a jabron he looked. He didn't like how much of a jabron he looked. So they essentially just ran back the exact same spot that put Cody out of commission for like 3 or so weeks, and you know, it was a kind of tale of Cody being, you know, the high IQ individual that he claims himself to be, and you know, he leaves Randy in the exact same position that he was once in. You know, Nick Aldis is out here just for the sake of him being out here, and you're probably wondering, Cappy, how did we get here? I thought you were talking about Sami and Cody earlier in the night. I fucking was. Sami Zayn is just put on the cuck chair for this entire segment, and like, I really just want to have a discussion with the WWE fandom for a second. Like, and notice how I said the full abbreviation. I'm being dead serious. How do you boo for somebody who is constantly vindicated? I am finally giving a world title match, and CM Punk just gets to come back, ask for it, no number one contendership, no anything, and steal my shine, steal my moment that I've worked 10 years for. Oh, Sammy overreacting. Oh, Sammy overreacting, Sammy. Right, the fucking brawling Brit. All right, fucking Captain Britain. You know what? I'll switch that up. All right, Osprey's the brawling Brit. All right. and Aldis is Captain Britain, right? So Captain Britain over here, Nick Aldis, he's like, oh, Sammy, you're over exaggerating it, bruv. You're begging it, bruv. You're begging it, right? Then he says, well, all right, I have a match with Finn Balor. I'm sure a match 1v1 with, you know, the two pillars of the NXT Black and Gold era. I'm sure this would be a great match. My chances are super high, right? All I have to do is get him on his bad side for 1, 2, 3. What a layup, right? Then Nick Aldis adds 2 more contenders to the match. One of them being a nigga who just tried to kill him 24 hours earlier. And for some reason, Sammy, when he brings this to Nick Aldis, fucking Captain Britain, is, oh, you're begging it, bruv. Oh, you wanker, you're begging it. Oh, what a puff. You're acting like such a puff. You know what? We all just blew it off. All puns intended. Sami Zayn has now said, I want a good and honest 1v1 where I am prepared and I am actively aware of what the fuck is going to be happening. I want to look at a match program and have it be the exact same thing as to when I go out there. When Sammy walks out there, Nick Aldis puts his hand dead in the middle of his chest and has security hold him back by the dozens and says, give me a second, bruv. Just give me 2 seconds, bruv. I have to finish this situation, bruv. And then Randy and Cody just have a street fight. They have a street fight. I'm about to say a street match. I was about to say they have a street match. They have a street fight match, right? Kind of like Street Fighter. It's funny how that works. They have a street fight match for like 3 to 10 minutes. It's barely a main event. It doesn't really feel like a main event. It drags out. Maybe like 12 to 13 minutes. It's really not even that short. I think the thing here is that nobody blades. There's no like big boisterous, loud, like, you know, like over the top spots. And honestly, for a main event, that wouldn't have hurt because it's not really an official match. It's kind of like Rocky 4. Like, all right, you're gonna have these 2 niggas box. Are they gonna box in traffic? Oh, okay, all right. Are somebody gonna hit the trash cans? Oh, okay. Like, Dick, you have to make the environment feel lived in. And I know we're kind of getting into the weeds here, but it feels very paper thin. It feels just like kind of like a, hey, street fight. Ah, we're so cool, we're so quirky. I was like, okay, all right. No blades for a street? Oh, okay, sure. Whatever, chat, whatever. You know, but again, as I stated, you know, Sammy's in the cuck chair. He's completely vindicated. I mean, this is now his 3rd time of kind of being screwed out of a title opportunity, which is like, how many times are we just gonna let Sammy be called crazy? And that's the thing that they do, man. They put in moments of the booking, like I touched on last week's Smackdown, where Kevin Owens is like, listen, bro, like, by the book, yes, me being in that match, that completely vindicates your point, and I was wrong. There's not really any other way to go about that. And then they make Sammy like, well, I want you to say sorry because and for this reason. And it's like, but you guys already acknowledged that y'all made a stupid creative choice. So why now bury Sammy in that, like, in that promo? Like, I'm sorry, I'm about to say in that program, but in that promo, why now bury Sammy? It just doesn't make any sense. And as I stated, you know, this isn't an official match, so it's not like I don't know, maybe they're going for like a triple threat, but I don't know, triple threat with Randy and Sammy wouldn't be terrible, I guess. Listen, I'm old school. I like a good match. I like a good 1, 2, 3. So if it's clean, no bullshit, no weird double turns, I'm just over it. I'm over it. I want these stories to be done, because again, I think if we get even a fraction of what Owens and Cody put on last year, oh god, we're in good territory. So it's a very tightly knit, woven knit, you know, so hopefully everything kind of just eventually connects, you know, with Owens, Punk, Cody, Punk and Sammy and Owens. Like, it all fits, right? It all works. It just has to have a good landing, right? It has to land properly, and that's my biggest takeaway from this SmackDown. And that's it, you know. And unfortunately, because, you know, they kind of ended us, you know, with a bit of blue balls, this gets a 5.5. I like to say it was a 6.5 with the JC Jane. You know what, Tommy, do me a favor, put one more star. All right, shout out to JC Jane. All right, she got over with the Dorchester tonight, so she's over with me. It is what it is. That was officially my shotgun review for SmackDown, August 14th, 2026, and my review for Dynamite, August 12th, 2026. Unfortunately, I thought I'd be able to knock out 2 chapters of One Piece for the next video, but apparently want a bit of a break week. So be ready for the world's latest, most behind video of One Piece you ever fucking seen, lads. All right, that was everything that your boy had. All right, hope all of you stay hydrated, stay healthy, however you catch this, whenever you catch this. A lot of other stuff going up for the rest of the week. All right, not to forget Collision, but sooner or later, Uno Piece. All right, I'm very excited. All right, hope all of you stay tuned, stay safe, stay beautiful. Peace.